You know, it took years. Many, many, many years, but Nintendo is back in the game. A few years ago, they seemed to be the laughingstock of the gaming industry. Maybe not the laughingstock, but maybe just a really old guy who just can't keep up with the times and keeps asking their grandson how to log into Facebook. Nintendo was behind on almost everything they were doing. The Wii U was an underpowered and confusing piece of hardware, and nobody really wanted to play it. Hell, people didn't even know what it was. I've had the same roommates for 2 years now. Mind you, they're your typical bro shoot-em-up gamers, but we still played Super Smash a lot. A few weeks ago, one of them asked if he could buy a tablet to use on his old Wii. They still didn't know it was an entire new console and not just some weird iteration on the old Wii. I was surprised, yet not surprised at the same time. The Wii U was a clunky console that was trying to be innovative, but was not innovative at the same time. Don't get me wrong, I've had some very fond memories with this console. It had some fantastic games, but that's really it. Some. Tropical Freeze is one of the best 3D platformers I've played. Mario Maker is an absolutely groundbreaking game for classic 2D Mario fans. Kart and Smash are what I believe to be the best in their respected series. I've never played Splatoon, but I hear great things and I'm excited for the second one releasing in a few weeks. But everything else seems a little bit off, you know? We got our 3D Mario game, sort of. I really wouldn't call it a 3D platformer, it was more of a 2.5D. It was great, but I don't believe it was really what Nintendo fans were asking for. A new Zelda didn't release until literally their next console released, and you could play Breath of the Wild on your Switch, so who would want to play it on the Wii U? There was 0 Metroid games, and finally the console released another copy and paste New Super Mario Bros. Game, which is almost identical to the one released on the Wii. Do you see what I mean? They barely have any heavy Nintendo hitters that we look forward to every console iteration. Let's look at the PlayStation 4's exclusive lineup. You have Bloodborne, Until Dawn, Neo, Nier Automata, Horizon, Persona 5, Uncharted 4, then on the way you have Death Stranding, Days Gone, God of War, and the list goes on and on. All of these games are classified under my book as heavy hitters. Now all Nintendo needs to do is release a bunch of AAA exclusive games like Sony, and voila! Well, I guess that's it. Video over, I guess. I already found the issue. Yeah, if it was only that easy. Nintendo doesn't have that luxury. But what they do have is the most precious IP in gaming. I mean, Nintendo diehards will buy almost anything they produce that has their memorable characters in it. I mean, I bought the Wii U at launch for New Super Mario Bros., so I guess I could fall into that boat as well. But the diehards are not enough to keep Nintendo afloat, and the Wii U certainly established that. They need new and interesting games that utilize their IP or games that people have just been yearning for. Fortunately, we've already started to see this from them on the Switch. Look at the already announced or released games. We got our 3D Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey looks like the return to form that everyone was wanting, Splatoon 2 is about to release, and we have Ubisoft's Mario Kingdom Battle coming out later next month. And I really believe that game can determine a lot of Nintendo's success for this generation. Imagine this game coming out and reviewing very well with a high attach rate, which I believe it will because us Mario addicts have to get our bump of Mario every now and then. It'll show that Nintendo doesn't have to clutch onto their IP like it's a winning lottery ticket. There are other fantastic developers out there that would die to create a game with Nintendo IP. They don't all have to be these huge projects though, they can be smaller, quaint games. Imagine a 2D Metroid made by Drinkbox Studios, the creators of Guacamelee, or another Zelda game made by Capcom. That would be amazing. I love Minish Cap, so I might be a little selfish on that. If Nintendo gives out their IP for developers to create awesome games with, they won't find themselves in these long stretches where they have no games for months. With Nintendo, it's very hard to avoid that time because they do not have much third-party support. They can only make a certain amount of games themselves. It's one of the reasons the Wii U bombed so badly. But if they listen to us, and I believe they have, which I talked about this already, and you can watch it by clicking this card on the top of the screen, then there is no reason Nintendo can't get back on the top soon. Maybe not too soon, because Sony's crushing everybody right now, but they haven't been making the best choices lately. This is what happens when you're on top. You make the business decisions to stay on top instead of the decisions that would benefit your customers, such as Sony deciding not to allow cross-platform play while Nintendo and Microsoft are fair game for it. We see this every iteration, and it's just one big loop that takes a while to go around. Nintendo might have struck gold though. The Switch might be the savior for all of Nintendo. Never before have I seen a console that is unanimously praised by almost everybody I see. I mean, people love this thing. but a console can be great and still not sell because of lack of good software. So hopefully this isn't the case this time. People are wanting to use their Switch all the time. Hopefully they have learned from their mistakes last gen and improve upon them. We got way too many spin-off games and games flat out nobody was asking for. I'm looking at you, Color Splash. I mean, who the hell wanted that? What were they thinking? Who at Nintendo was like, you know, that Paper Mario game everyone hated? Let's make one just like that. Our consumers would love that. Sorry, back to the topic at hand. Luckily, I don't think we're seeing any of this anymore. As I stated before, they already have some huge games released or in development, so we're on the up and up from bland spin-offs to fantastic, big, breathtaking games. Nintendo has been making all the right moves for a while now, and we're starting to see the results firsthand. Switches almost sell out immediately, and their software has been getting great reviews so far. Nintendo just needs to keep this money truck moving. They can't let up on their software. If they let up, then they might not regain their ground. Hopefully they reach out to other developers to create some innovative and fantastic games using their IP to keep the games coming. I really believe that move could spawn some awesome opportunities for us gamers and for all of Nintendo in general. It would allow Nintendo to make some new IP like they did with Splatoon and ARMS. I truly believe that when Nintendo is on top of their game, then that's when the game industry is at its best.
Coins with me, oh yeah!
Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video and check out some of my other content. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but I do try to focus on other topics as well. I also try to make a video once a week or so make sure you check back next week. I'll see you next time.